Hi everyone, this is Big Mama, and I wanted to introduce you to my new journal that I have finished that is all about your dreams. And I have a little backstory to tell you about it. I hadn't planned on making a journal this month, but the ladies had come to the gathering at my house in April, and I had taken all of my napkins downstairs, and some of my pretty napkins were included. And I felt like I needed to share my very best with the ladies who came here. So I did not bring my good napkins back upstairs. And one of the ladies had got this really adorable napkin of this fairy. You can't quite see the gossamer wings on them. And she had taken with Mod Podge and put it on some muslin and mailed it back to me. And that inspired me to go ahead and do this journal and call it Dreams. And so Dear Julie Julie has digitals, and this digital that I used, one of the pages in it had a lot of this in here. And so I used that as a background. And then I had a shirred that was for the top of a dresser. So I took that antique and put it here, and then the antique lace off it, put it here, and had this little doily that I added to it. And Penny Pudge, who does a sale every once in a while, had this wonderful avocado dyed seam binding that I used. And when I did the word dreams here, and I wrote that in there, I used some tape that I had in an old book that was all grungy, and so I put that on there. And then I had this old button that I thought really went well with that. And I put on the seam this old antique lace trim. And then this is from a book that Susan Taylor Brown had sent me. She had gutted it and sent me the cover. And so the cover is still really, really old and messed up, you might say. And so I took and rubbed that down really good. And this is what I'm going to show you now, my dreams. It's a wonderful journal for you to write down your childhood dreams or the dreams that you had through life. These are some of the pages of the digital that I used. I wanted to get that out for you. This is in Dear Julie Julie's Patreon, and this was her lace grunge. And then on a lot of the pages, I used this music paper. And this was her Friday freebie for May of 2026. And so I used a lot of it in here. And I used this for a lot of the cards. And you'll recognize these pages. I printed this one a lot and then cut the pieces out and layered them on so that it looked like the top of your desk. And here is another one of those beautiful pages. And this is my ultimate favorite one. I love this right here. It's just so exquisite. So if you're a Patreon for Dear Julie Julie, she has this in May, the very beginning of May of 2026. Now, I am filming this, and it is evening, and the sun is starting to really come in that window. So I'm trying my very best not to overdo with the sunshine on you. Please forgive me. Well, I did not finish the challenge this month, and this is a day early. I knew that I wasn't going to be able to finish the challenge. There were too many days that I had taken off to get well from a bronchial little bug that I had been gifted for Mother's Day. And so knowing that I wouldn't finish it, I decided to just go ahead and let her challenge this month inspire me. So here we go. I am opening up, and I put some lace here. I had this postcard, and I thought, doesn't that look like the little girl who would have wonderful dreams? Use this mulberry paper in there, in the antique lace. Use this dresser scarf in here. And then I gold splattered all of this for you, and then used some of this packaging paper and some dictionary, school paper, and then a piece of ledger and some washi, some more of the digital. And here, like I said, I backed it with the, I'll try and center this for you. I backed it with the music paper. This is some paper that one of the dear friends of mine had sent to me that is avocado dyed paper. And I put wonderful parchment paper in here, some music paper. This is some painter paper, and then sewed it in with a 5-hole pamphlet stitch. Some more of this, the other side of those pages. And then this was an idea that Julie had of the she calls it the sailboat. And so what it is you fold the top down in the corner, and so that's the sail of the sailboat. This is a journaling spot. And then I took her digital and cut it to where it would be holding the sail down, and this is a pocket. And then on her one of the pages had this frame, so I cut around the frame and put some plastic behind it, and this little digital that someone had given me. And then here I made a postcard using a coffee dyed index card, and I gold splattered all over it too. And this is book page. A lot of this I left so that whoever decides that they want this can add to it all the things that they want. Who wouldn't want a mosquito in their book? I thought about covering it up, and I thought, no, that might be the one thing that gets this one sold, that mosquito. And then here again is that beautiful page that I love, and I love how it looks when it's splattered. And then this is signature. I want to be sure and leave a lot of pages for people to write in. This is called a postcard flip pockets, and so this has 2 pockets on the other side of the signature and the tag. And I lined it with a sheer from a curtain and use this antique here, and this is her lace grunge digital. And then here on this page I have an envelope that has the edge here has the 2 tucks, and that again is her digital. Use this scrapbook paper and covered it with some tissue paper. And then this is the other half of, the envelope. And I just tore, I'll show you how I just tore the edge here of the envelope. Added, this is a trim that comes off of a pillowcase, and some lace and some tatting. And then this was her digital that I added for my tab with some sheer underneath it. And then the other side of that is covered also. Put an antique postcard in there, and then took the pages off of the digital where I'm not grabbing the right one, but you can see that it's layered, and so I printed it several times so that I could take the pieces then and put them down on here. And then I have a rub-on butterfly with a little bit of thread here. This is our specimen card. Put a little bit of napkin on here. This was her digital. It says rejoice always. And the tag I put, this was a part of a calendar, and the little back of the calendar had all those little squares, and so that's one of the little squares. And it says, from a small seed a mighty trunk may grow. And so you can journal on that. And I just put a sticker butterfly in between 2 pieces of acetate. And then we were to make a round tag. So I just used a round doily and put it on index card, and then the digital here. And I don't know if you can see where I put the glitter inside the glossy accent to make that shine and shimmer. And some of the gauze is in there too. And this is the other side of that postcard fold, and got a French postcard in here, and then also did the digital card and the antique lace. Some more of this 1800s book page. Now, I don't feel bad about when books like this are being used, because the book was falling apart and it would have gone in the trash anyway. So this way it has an opportunity to be used for something good. Some more of the, I love having that gold splatter on there. It just makes it pop. And some of the antique lace on the edge here. And put that on there. And then this is just where you can flip and write on it, tall tag. And packaging paper, the lined paper for the children. Some more of the dictionary page. Parchment. And here I have an antique, let's see if I can get this up here for you. I had an antique card that was a Mother's Day card. And so I photocopied it onto coffee dyed paper. And then I took one of those little flat envelopes that's a see-through plastic. I traced the edge of that picture. Let me get this off of there. I traced the edge of it with the marker and then cut it. So I'm cutting two, but this way I don't have any of the black lines on that second piece. And then I glued down with the art glitter glue around the edge and laid it down, and then pushed the glue to the outside and let that dry, and then took the glue that is for the gilding flakes and put around the edge and added gilding flake to it. Added some gold inside the flowers, both on this picture and in here, so that you have that. Well, on the edge of the card it said, "For my mother," and so I just used the word mother on my double-sided hidden paper clip, and then fussy cut the digital out and put the glossy accent on it and the gilding flakes around the edge with this eyelet to put on the edge here. And then this is part of her digital, and it does, you can just pull that down, and there is little writing paper inside here. And put that there. The reason why I covered that up is the page goes around, and it only had the feet of a guy who's lifting weights, and it didn't look quite right, so I covered it with that. And this is the folio we were supposed to make, and it has 2 tags in it. I'm going to write on those tags. And again, I used a lot of the gold pen in this one and the gold splatter paint. So that goes here. And then this, we were to do a card to go up underneath here. And since I have a lot of this throughout, I thought, well, I would just carry that on through. So you open this up, and then it has stationery in here you can write on too. And so there's that for my card for mother. And then right. And then this, we were to do a pocket edge. So what I did is I went ahead and cut this edge and lined the inside of it with some of the metallic tissue paper that you have for gifts. And then this, because of the fairies and everything, she has the big, huge 4-leaf clover. I thought, well, that's cute. She thinks she's a miniature person or something. And then I lined this with some antique tatting. And then the digital had these postcards. And so what I did, it's just one picture. So I cut it and then just glued down this part so that I could have then the insert to be able to put the letters in. And I used this old hanky that was falling apart, because a lot of times you find the old letters in a drawer that's in the hanky drawer. So I just, because it was already ripped and torn, I put the hanky here with the letters on it. And some more of that glitter, or not glitter, but splatter. Writing spots, more of the book. And then this, you're supposed to take the page and flip it over the edge. So that is, you've got a pocket here on this side and a pocket on this side. And I had a little bit left of this hanky, and see how it was falling apart. I put the hanky on the edge, and then you have the journaling cards in each one of the pockets. And I tried to put, like, this is big and this one's the little one, the same. So I tried to put, if I hadn't already used it up, I tried to put them in there. And then this is the other side. I took some more of that tape. I really, it was funny because when I went through the book, I have to open this up and show you. I went through the book, I saved all of those pieces of that tape so that I could use it in things like this, because it's old tape that's already been weathered. So it's vintage tape even. So I put the vintage tape on here, and then glossy accent over the picture of the paper clip there. And this is my quilted oval card. So I did faux quilting by putting the stitches around my applique, and this is her digital that I fussy cut. Then I took a die cut of a doily and dry brushed with some white paint, and then have a scrap of the lace with some music paper for my oval. And this scrap is off of this piece. And this is a envelope tip-in. So there's the envelope. I've got a rub-on of joy, a rub-on of the butterfly, glossy accent. And then this I had in one of my books that has vintage paper and things in it. And so I put it on a brown paper sack and put it on the back of the pink envelope, so that that would close off where the envelope was open here to make that a full pocket. And then this, we were to make a card. So in that same book, this image was in there. This was digital. So I just put that here and used the washi tape around the edge so that you have a card that you can write in here. And some washi here to reinforce the pages. And then this, I had taken the pages and put them on the page, but when I put them down, like the tape is here and the paper clip and the pieces are there, then it's a belly band. And I put that there, and the belly band keeps it from sliding. The cord keeps it from sliding all the way through. And this was a 6-pack pocket, and so I folded the edge down here, and then again put that on a postcard or index card, and use the antique lace. And this, I have the magazine, and so I took a picture of it, and then I printed it 5x7 so that I could put it in here. And then this is the digital. It's got a little piece of paper in there you can write on. And then use this. Lisa Yaya is one of the ladies, and she had sent this tape that is been printed with a dictionary page, and so I used that to put in my tip in. And then we were to do a triangle pocket, so I put that there. And then this her digital, and this is a piece of paper that I had here. And then this is the other oval that I made. And this one I took tea bag and just started patchworking the tea bag, and then did my faux stitches on each piece of the tea bag. So they are overlapped, and I did the lines where they were overlapped. And then I did the fussy cut again, her digital, and put glossy accent on it, and then put the glitter into the flower. This is the tip in. That is a flip flop with a flap. And so I used a paper pad piece of paper, and so it was a unicorn that had fairy wings on it. And so we were to do a cluster with an envelope that had an insert, so I used her digital envelope. And this is also her digital that she had done in April with postcards and postage, some scrap of lace, a fussied little bow on there. I used washi tape to hold this piece of paper on there. And then on this side is I printed the digital onto paper roll, piano roll. And then while the glue was still wet, I sprinkled it with Princess Gold embossing powder and hit it with the heat to give that, it's got that raised texture on there. So that's, I did that on the other side of this page too. And then we were to have a flip-flop with a flap. So this is my flap, and it also has a card in it. And use some antique lace on here. And use the envelope flap comes over with the lace. And then there again is that piano roll. And then let me see if I can make it flip-flop. Okay, come on everybody, there you go. So we were to have lined paper that had a stencil on it, so I stenciled this flower and then went back with a pit pen and went around the image, and then gold dotted the middle of the flowers. And these little itty-bitty sticker dots are in the corner of the pages. And use glossy accent on a butterfly. And so this is a rub-on butterfly, and Julie's digital for Mother's Day, the word flower was there, so why not put flowers on it? And then we were to put a pocket here, so I did a lace pocket. So this is linen with lace, and this is her digital, and this is another part of her digital that I put here. An antique button with some cord through it, a rub-on butterfly from washi. And then I made a photocopy of this book that I have, and made just a little book that you can write in, and each one of the pages comes all the way out. So I decided not to cut off the edge, and so I put that little booklet in here. Oh, don't mean to give you debris. And here's the other part of that 6-pack. I just scalloped this, and there are the tags with that antique lace. And this is the end. That's where I signed it. Handmade by Big Mama Sandy Moore. And then I have lace here that is just for a tuck that you can put something else in. So this is for sale. If you are interested in it, please feel free to put in the comments, and I will get a hold of you. I hope that you are able to finish the challenge if you were working on it. And I wish you good health. It's interesting. You want to have them babies around you, but boy, I tell you what, sometimes they bring you gifts that you weren't expecting. And for me, it it took me under. I had a wobbly brain for a few days. So I hope that you enjoyed this, and please let me know in the comments if you're interested in it. Thank you. Bye-bye.